A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant ruling, a federal judge in Texas has blocked a new rule from the Biden administration aimed at expanding overtime pay eligibility for millions of salaried workers across the United States. On Friday, U.S. District Judge Sean Jord sided with the state of Texas and a coalition of business organizations, asserting that the Labor Department overstepped its authority when it finalized the rule earlier this year. The judge's decision has sent ripples through the labor community, raising questions about the future of worker protections under the current administration. Under existing federal law, most hourly workers in the U.S. are entitled to overtime pay after working 40 hours a week. However, many salaried workers are exempt from this requirement, unless they earn below a specific income threshold. The now-blocked rule was poised to mark the most significant increase in that threshold in decades, raising it from $35,568 to $58,656 by next year. This change was expected to extend overtime protections to approximately 4 million additional lower-paid salaried workers in its first year, along with nearly 300,000 higher-compensated workers benefiting from separate threshold increases. The Labor Department had argued that it was essential to ensure fair compensation for salaried workers who perform the same duties as their hourly counterparts. Acting Secretary of Labor Julie Su emphasized at the time of the rule's finalization that it was unacceptable for lower-paid salaried workers to be deprived of overtime pay. However, the ruling from Judge Jordan has now reverted the threshold back to the previous level set during the Trump administration, which many advocates argue is not sufficient to protect workers. The legal challenges against the Labor Department's rule were not unexpected. Business groups contended that the changes would impose undue financial burdens on employers, potentially leading to job cuts or reduced hours for workers. David French, Executive Vice President of Government Relations for the National Retail Federation, expressed concern that the changes would hinder retailers' ability to provide flexible and generous benefits to lower-level exempt employees. This ruling echoes a similar situation from 2016 when an Obama-era effort to expand overtime pay eligibility was also struck down in court amid opposition from business leaders and Republican politicians. The Trump administration later implemented a more modest increase, which advocates deemed inadequate. With the prospect of a second Trump term looming, it appears that significant changes to overtime pay eligibility may not be forthcoming. As the debate over worker compensation continues, many advocates are calling for renewed efforts to raise the threshold further, arguing that too many salaried workers remain at risk of being underpaid for their labor. The ruling has sparked renewed discussions about the importance of labor rights and equitable pay, particularly as the nation grapples with economic challenges and a shifting job market. In other news, the Canadian landscape is also witnessing significant developments. A pair of independent Montreal city councillors are pushing for the city to declare a state of emergency on homelessness, highlighting the growing crisis affecting many urban centers. Meanwhile, a recent Nanos research study reveals that a majority of Canadians support investing tax dollars in building off-road bicycle infrastructure, though there are concerns that bike lanes on roads may worsen traffic flow. In the U.S., health officials have confirmed the first case of a new form of mpox, which was initially identified in eastern Congo, marking a new chapter in public health vigilance. Additionally, a former Canadian Forces soldier who aided in the evacuation of individuals from Afghanistan has reportedly been detained by the Taliban, raising alarms about the safety of those who assisted foreign forces during the conflict. As the political landscape evolves, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is currently in Peru for the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit, engaging with South American leaders on various issues. Meanwhile, New York City politicians are calling for an apology from Whoopi Goldberg regarding her comments about a local bakery's decision to decline a birthday order, reflecting the ongoing tensions surrounding political discourse. In the realm of sports, Jake Paul has expressed his ambition to compete for a championship belt within the next 2 years, while the tragic aftermath of a violent stabbing incident on a college campus in China has left 8 dead and 17 injured, prompting discussions about safety in educational institutions. As we navigate these complex issues, the impact of policies on everyday lives remains a focal point for many citizens. The recent ruling on overtime pay is just one example of how legal decisions can shape the economic realities for workers across the nation, highlighting the need for continued advocacy and vigilance in the pursuit of fair labor practices. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.